When we think about the NDDF since their inception in 2012, primarily driven by a need for stakeholders to talk to each other within the Delta, we realized that we needed to make the conversation much broader, not just necessarily in terms of the topics, with focus around what essentially drives economic development and investment in the region.
I think it's welcome for once that we're talking. We rarely get to talk in the Niger Delta.
We are talking about building the economy of the country and the Niger Delta region. We can't do that when people are running about looking for employment in government offices and in other organizations. They need to create jobs. They need to build businesses, because this private sector drives the economy of any nation.
Sensitizing people to the possibilities is a very important thing. A mindset change is so desperately required.
A couple of things are clear for me. One is the importance of changing or working to change the mindset of young people in the Niger Delta. Two, the importance that governments, state governments in the Niger Delta are putting towards economic development issues, cutting across women, youth, and particular sectors.
How do we bring investment into the region? How do we talk about the Niger Delta in a way that attracts an external and internal investors into the region?
I think that the federal government has to begin to encourage regional groupings in terms of economic activity.
Given the timing that there's a new administration, there's a new set of decision makers, both at the elected and appointed level, is a great time for agenda setting for the Niger Delta. And I think this forum brought together the right actors for that purpose.
I mean, there's just some fundamental things that government is responsible for: transport, power, and security. And if we can get government focusing on those three pieces of the puzzle, I think the private sector can move quite quickly to take advantage of it.
What I think I'm going away with from the conference is two key things: infrastructure and security. And that if we can do something about those two things, huge as they are, then the region becomes attractive for investment. Unfortunately for the region, investors have come here for the oil, and many more can come on the back of that.
Capital doesn't discriminate. If you create the right conditions, capital will flow. Okay? There aren't some people somewhere deciding not to invest in the Niger Delta. As soon as the Niger Delta is presented and packaged properly, the money will come in.
Looking in the Niger Delta, we currently work with 8 quite amazing partners who are all making different kinds of progress in the areas of open budget, in the areas of trying to make Niger Delta institutions effective, looking at peace and security, and looking particularly at bringing youth on board into the agenda and the discussion.
It's been good to see that there is an emerging civil society in the Niger Delta that's trying to find constructive ways to engage government and the private sector.
We could go out of our way, those of you in the market and things, look for non-traditional skills. Fortunately for us, those conscriptions that exist elsewhere, women cannot do this, is not a problem of the Niger Delta. The Niger Delta is a place a woman can do anything. So I think we should help to redefine the Niger Delta as a region which understands the equality of the sexes.
We don't have to create, as someone said, a Dubai in the Niger Delta. We just need to create a Niger Delta that works for its people.
We can have a marginal influence, but the reality is it's going to have to come from the people within the Niger Delta.